I'm Leah.
And I'm Sophie.
And this is
Overthinking Underachieving.
Sophie, are you so excited?
I'm so fucking excited.
I'm not. I'm really stressed out. I think I might have just deleted all of our footage.
No.
No.
Do not even say that.
But this actually is a really good transition. You might not be the best at something. You might have never tried it before, but guess what?
You're gonna fucking crash and burn and everything will not be worth it.
No, it will be worth it in the end. We've learned our lesson. Maybe, hopefully we've learned it without trauma. It's okay. We're gonna move past it. Let's move on. What are we talking about today, Sophie?
Productivity. Pro-fucking-ductivity.
We're talking about productivity.
Pro-fuctivity.
Productivity. That's actually really. Did you come up with that just now?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my angst.
So
It
yeah,
comes
I'm
out in
having a lot of
wordplay.
angst too. Wordplay.
Should I just straight up be like, the overall theme of this? Okay. I
The
would say-
overall theme is.
So in this episode, we're going to be talking about productivity and getting started and all the mental blockers that you face when just getting started on a project, and how a lot of those mental blockers or behavioral blockers, they really can be covert. Like, they are not in your face and obvious. They can be subconscious mechanisms that just keep you from your goals. I think the main form of self-sabotage that I have experienced throughout my life is the passive perfectionism, which is the type of perfectionism where you feel like your work has to be perfect, and instead of the classical perfectionism where you keep going on a project and you keep working, it's never good enough. Passive perfectionism is when you have these lofty ideals and like demands for yourself, and because of that you just choose to not start at all.
Like, this is just going to be bad, and it's not going to be the way that I imagine it in my head, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, like, I don't have, for whatever reason, I cannot make this project as well as I see it in my mind, to the level that I see it in my mind and that I know that I hypothetically could make it. And because of that, I'm just not going to do it at all.
And there are layers to that. Like, it could be, I don't have the resources to make it the perfect project the way I want it to be. You could make a lesser version of that project, but that's just not perfect. That's not what you want. And it's like not too late to pick up a new hobby, but you'll never pick up a new hobby or a new creative craft if you want to be perfect every single time you create anything.
It also keeps you from growing and developing and being able to get better at these skills or these projects that you're working on, because you're not willing to just start and do it, not imperfectly at the beginning, and then better.
Well, if I can come in with a quick tip. Okay, so this whole like gamify thing, it's really cheesy. Do you know what I mean? It's like gamify your life. Like, come up with like 5 tasks you need to do, and then like when you get 5 of them, you get this, like whatever. It's like whatever, gamification of life. To me, cheesy, stupid, whatever. Unfortunately, it works. So basically, if you are starting a creative project, come up with this rule: ugly first. So you make something genuinely ugly on purpose, and like maybe it doesn't even end up being that ugly, but regardless, it gets you to start, and then it's like the sewing machine's already out. The paint's already out. Like, that was one of the hardest parts.
The first pancake is always the worst pancake. Like, when you're actually making pancakes,
Oh.
it always turns out to be a dud.
Yeah.
And so you always end up having to throw out that one.
Well,
and
not
then
me. I'll be eating it, but
well, yeah, depending on how bad it is. But then you make the second one, and then you get in your groove, and then you keep going. So, like, you can adopt that sort of behavior with your art, too. Like, this is just the first pancake. Let me just make this, and whatever happens, happens. Like, no expectations on myself. And then you can either throw it out, or it ends up being, like, amazing.
you would not have made pancakes in general thinking, oh, the first pancake's gonna suck. I'm not even gonna eat it. I'm gonna give it to my dog. It's like, you wouldn't have, right? But you're like, no, that's okay. I know the first pancake's gonna be shitty, but like, I'm really in the mood for pancakes.
Yeah. Because our ego is not really like that involved in our pancake abilities.
Unless you're a chef, in which case
true.
this might really affect you when it comes to cooking.
And we're sorry for downplaying the effect of the pancake theory on your psyche, on your mental health. What, do I have shit in my teeth?
No. Your beautiful teeth.
They're shitty teeth.
Listen. Okay. Remember how you were just talking about the whole pancake thing? But let's just pretend that we did lose the first episode. Let's just pretend. Pancake theory.
Why are you bringing that up right now?
Because I'm saying it's a really good example. Because this is our creative endeavor.
But it wasn't a bad pancake. It was fucking perfect. And it was organic.
I know.
And I'm going to be really actually so upset if it's gone. I'm just informing you that I'm going to freak out.
No, it's not going to be gone.
If it's deleted.
It's not going to be gone. It's not.
You shouldn't keep bringing it up because I will actually be derailed by that.
Don't be derailed by that. Do you want to know why? Because imagine if you were derailed by your worst pancake ever that you threw out and gave to your dog. Then would you ever create pancake? Would you ever make a pancake?
I'm a cat person.
Okay, so that explains it. No, I'm kidding. No, but I just, come on, like the metaphor.
Why are you bringing that up?
Because I just thought that you would find that metaphor interesting.
No, I hate it. I hate that metaphor.
Okay, so there's a person named Julia Cameron who said, it is impossible to get better and look good at the same time. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. Like, I always thought that, like, oh, podcasts, like, I have a personality, you have a personality, let's put them together, you know. But it took it's been a long time. It's probably been since college where I've been like, put me in front of a camera. You know what I mean? And I think
my whole life for me, I didn't get enough attention as a child.
Is that what your daddy issues? Sorry,
cut
Mom.
that out. No, I got the double whammy mommy daddy issues.
And grandma.
Grandma issues?
Well, not really, but that's funny to say though.
Oh.
So, no, but what was I saying? Oh, but here we are. We started a podcast, okay? We're filming, we're editing, we're making outfits, we're talking, we have these mics.
We're making outfits.
This has been fun. No, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Okay. The common root cause of sneaky self-sabotage is shame. And shame is a cycle that keeps you trapped within your shame. And it's something that I really dealt with a lot when I was younger, that I worked through and I kind of figured out how to get out of it. Mm-hmm. And basically, because I didn't know that shame was a cycle at first, where you feel ashamed, so you act out and do things that you're ashamed of. And then because you've done those things that you're ashamed of, then you feel ashamed, and it just keeps going and going and going. And you try all these things to like break out of it, but because you are still ashamed fundamentally, all of these other interventions, they don't have lasting effects. So what I discovered in my healing journey with shame is that you have to first forgive yourself and choose to not be ashamed, like, period. Like, I forgive myself. I'm not going to feel horrible about this thing because I know that right now I am making the choice to be different, choose differently, act differently. And I forgive myself for my past mistakes. And it's not me avoiding accountability. That's not what that is. It's me making the choice to move forward, to be a better person. Once you work on that, like just working on forgiving yourself, no matter what, You have held yourself accountable. I know you've been beating yourself up about this thing that you feel ashamed of, this like source of your shame. You've been feeling like shit about it. You've been holding yourself accountable. And now it's time to truly forgive yourself and then act out of that place. And when you act out of that place, you're going to make better decisions, more positive choices, and you're going to stop doing things that make you feel ashamed, and the cycle basically just dissolves. And we have to address neurodivergence when we're talking about these things, because so many creatives are neurodivergent, and these are the struggles that they face. And we deal with so much shame as neurodivergent people on a daily basis because of the way that our brains work and how we're not geared for the same type of productivity as what is expected and demanded of us. Not only on a day-to-day basis, but on a life basis. Like, you should be doing this at this age. You should be doing this at this age. You should enjoy this. You shouldn't like this. That's weird. You should be able to socialize in this way. There's so much shame, and the shame makes everything worse for neurodivergence. So having difficulty getting started on something is massively impacted by the way your brain works. And if you are neurodivergent, especially ADHD, which we both have, so we know the struggles of just how painstakingly difficult it is to just start something.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the main thing is understanding that your brain works a little differently, and you have to like change up your routine in order to accommodate yourself, because guess what? It's okay to accommodate yourself. You don't need to.
Better.
Yeah.
Would you rather not accommodate yourself and then just like fail?
Well, yeah, that's most people, because people feel bad, like, oh, I shouldn't need accommodations. Like I don't want to sign up to get extra time on my test because I have a learning disability and it takes me a little longer to take this test.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to have to. This isn't neurodivergent, but like with me, I have so many food allergies. Like, I don't want to ask people to have to eat at these certain restaurants where I know I can eat. Like, we feel ashamed for having needs, really, and needing to be accommodated. So, and that just plays back into the shame, like how much shame has a huge impact. So really, that's like the biggest tip. If I had to give 2 tips: stay off your phone
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, like stay off screens, and work on your shame.
I have a tip for when you are in a stuck position.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cheesy the way that it seems like a lot of these tips and tricks are cheesy, but if they work, they work. I choose a random number and I count down. And by the time I hit 0, you best be up. You best be up. Like, I mean, you have to find out what works for you. Obviously, there's a lot of different types of skills that you could learn about to challenge your brain and make it do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like, even like washing my face every night is like a very annoying task.
It's horrible. I hate it.
But if I've done it enough times in a row, I'm like, oh my God, I'm accomplishing this small goal every single day. Like, it's been, and then you start adding more small goals to your list. And once you accomplish enough small goals and enough amount of times, you'll start adding bigger goals. And then at this point, you've created some type of cool little schedule that really works for you, however your brain does work.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're all different. Like, I'm lucky that the number thing works for me because it's pretty simple, but other people might need to use a different type of scale. I mean, maybe just turn your, what's it called when you like have a limit on your apps?
Yeah. It's the screen time like limiter.
I have a screen time limit on my Instagram. And it's like short. It's like 15 minutes. That's kind of long. But like, if I'm on my phone for 15 minutes and I see that pops up, let's just pretend that I click ignore, okay? I always click ignore for 15 minutes, not the ignore for all the day, because let's just, another 15 minutes passes and I'm like, okay, do the math. It's been 30 minutes of you sitting down on a screen. And then let's just say I pass it again because I'm in bed and I'm just like kind of on my phone. So you're telling me you've spent 45 minutes on your phone? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the math adds up. And I definitely used to be the type of person that I was a night person. I could only be creative at nighttime. I was a night owl. And I would genuinely wait around all day. There was like a day maybe where I had nothing to do. Nope, can't be creative right now. I'm not inspired. I have to wait till nighttime.
Like making rules up for yourself.
Right. You can't wait around for sparks of inspiration because that's just not realistic.
That's not how it works.
And like your life works. And like you have sudden inspiration is awesome and you should use it and you should write down in your notes app. I just had this really cool idea. Let's come back to this tomorrow when it's not the middle of the night or you're not at work or you're not with your friends and or you know, I'm not feeling inspired about this particular project right now. If I scroll on Pinterest long enough, maybe I'll get inspired.
Oh, I'm going on Instagram to get inspired, but really you're going on Instagram to look at everybody else and then feel like shit about yourself and then not do it.
No, it's true. I love to clean my room. It's kind of like my favorite hobby. And I will get inspired by a random thing in my room and start doing it. Like,
instead of what you were working on.
Well, yeah, so I'll like start upcycling some random jacket or some shirt, and it's like you have 20 other projects that are half done in your room right now that you could definitely like finish. And it's like, well, I'm not inspired. I got inspired to do this thing. So maybe you're not inspired by the same project that you started yesterday, but you should probably work on it again. And inspiration will come. Inspiration
is fickle, and we're trying to work on our creativity and the creative process not being fickle. So inspiration's not the thing to lean on, to be dependent upon.
No, you can organize your creative time. There's something isn't as romantic about organizing creative time, but that's real. Artists go into the studio, they're not, I'm not inspired today. No, like when you just start a creative project, inspiration comes after. So there is like a very intense comparison trap that we all fall into, and it is extremely bad for your self-image and your creative juices because it'll stop you. You'll just
really, once again, it's externalizing your art. Like you are self-surveilling your art. Like you're thinking about it from outside of yourself, forming judgments. Like you're viewing your art from the outside out of fear of judgment. And what we want is to get back into ourselves, not be so worried about the opinions of others in our art, in our creativity, and make art for ourselves, like authentically. Because really, ultimately, it's funny because ultimately the most authentic art that you make for yourself is the true art that really resonates with other people. Like when you are constantly thinking about the way others are going to consume your art, you're going to water it down to be as like massively palatable as possible.
There is a huge process footage moment happening on social media. It is hard when artists are not obligated to show that to their viewers, but they like it. It's like, it's an obvious, and I don't know if you've seen videos where it's like, this is me working on a painting for 50 hours in 30 seconds. And it's like, there are some artists that are fighting back against that, and they're like, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time coming up with process videos to show you how my art's cool, like, so that I can...
Yeah, the contentification of our art.
But the problem is that people want that.
Yeah, well, the problem is that it's so hard. If you're trying to make your art your livelihood, it's so hard to just, like, get it out there organically and like offline.
No, you have to be the type of person.
I hate it.
No, I know. You have to be the type of person to like start. You can't. You're gonna get clients. You're gonna get followers. You're gonna get viewers by playing that game.
Yeah.
And it's a frustrating situation to be in. It slows you down. It makes you feel less. Like,
it's a nightmare.
It's less authentic to be.
It's soul crushing.
Oh, let me set up the camera. I'm gonna set up the camera and then I'm gonna go over here and like have this emotion
And once again, you're now like watching yourself make art, which is just gonna make shittier art.
When you take yourself out of, you've put yourself, okay, so you've started when you don't want to. You put yourself in that creative moment, inspirational, etc. And then you're like, oh, wait, I gotta edit a TikTok later. Watching myself go through something that is very personal.
And like thinking about us, like, I don't know about everyone, but as a woman, you know, we have the internalized male gaze. So I don't know if you've seen on TikTok.
I'm gay,
like,
I have it, so.
Well, yeah, we all have it. But I don't know if you've seen on TikTok that trend where it's like artists like painting and they're just like bent over with their booty out. Like painting,
I've done that before.
Because they have to cater to this like self-surveillance, like imagined perception by others. It's like, while they're being creative, they have to perform desirability in their art while they're making art.
I kept trying to cut you off because I was really excited to tell the viewers that one time I put like a black lacy bra on and I unbuttoned my pink shirt and I took my pants off and I just danced in the fucking camera and I literally was like, oh, I'm painting, which I actually was painting, but I wasn't wearing that outfit. I was wearing sweatpants. And so I was like, oh, like, it was a pretty cute, you know that song, boots and chains and put your loving on me, Vanilla Baby.
Okay.
So if you saw it, you're welcome.
I've written about on my Instagram for Pirkritude is instead of saying I should do this, I should do this, I shouldn't do this, I should be doing this, which is really just you shaming yourself. Instead of saying I should, say I want. Like, I want to get up right now. I want to go work out. I want to work on this project. I want to, like,
I love that.
I feel like that makes an instant difference for me. It's just something that you have to be more intentional about, like, just keep doing for yourself, because you don't realize how often you're like, oh, I should be doing this. Well, no. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And it really does. I don't know, like these little tweaks, like these little mindset tweaks have changed my life and they really impact me. I don't know if that's other people are the same way, but
I am obsessed with I want.
Yeah,
how have I never heard that? Switching your brain to I want is incredibly empowering.
It can also show you, like, okay, well, I should do this, but what do you actually want? Like, do you actually want, like, is this actually a goal of mine? Like, oh, I don't need an example, but I feel like it really can weed out, like, true, like, external expectations on yourself you actually want for yourself. I feel like every episode there's a moment where you're like, oh my god, that's so smart.
Which is like the point here. Yeah. You challenge yourself with finishing a huge project, it's not going to happen realistically. I think setting yourself small little goals, realistic little babies. I hate when people tell me that, but I'm going to say it because it's true.
No, that's
like,
true.
I hate hearing it, and so I hate saying it, but I know that it's true.
That's because the idea of making this massive change gives you more dopamine. It's like this exciting, huge thing, all or nothing. When really, that's just not how change works.
New Year's resolutions, everyone's so excited they're going to change their entire life around in a day, and it's just so not realistic, and then you burn out in 5 seconds. Like, I mean, you see the gyms in February.
And then because you started and then stopped, oh, I stopped.
Exactly.
When really it's just tiny, incremental, whatever can be consistent. And that's what the brain wants. Like, your brain is structured to hate change. Well, it's like, I know that I can survive in these circumstances when I behave in this way. I am still alive at this point, even if these mechanisms are destructive in my life, I've still survived and I'm still here. So your brain does not want to change, even positive changes.
Well, the gallon of dopamine versus the small little drop drops, it's just more sustainable, I think. And you have to be resourceful. Like, it's like, oh, do I want to eat this entire gallon of ice cream, or do I want to just eat it and stuff? And I think that when it comes to small goals, that's what you're doing. You are giving yourself a sense of accomplishment, every single time you do something, I don't care if this is embarrassing. I feel accomplished when I brush my teeth and wash my face at the end of a day. Sometimes I'm tired.
That's not embarrassing.
Thank you.
A lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah, it's like an annoying task.
It is. It's horrible.
Like, and like, there's never been there hasn't been a time where I haven't done that, but it was just such a painful thing. Like, it was such an aggravate, like,
because it gives you no dopamine,
right? But now I get dopamine because it's like a goal that I'm reaching, and I'm like, oh yes, like I did it, like,
rather than an expectation.
And it feels good to when I have that moment where I'm lying in bed and I really don't want to get up, but then I force myself to get up. That feels so good. I'm like, I'm so cool.
I've conquered my mind.
I have, and it's so fun.
I'm in control.
You drive. You are in the driver's seat of your own car, baby. You're not gonna sit in the passenger seat and let life just drive you around.
It's funny because like everything you're describing, I know the term for it, and I'm just like sitting here like. Check. Like, ADHD.
Well, and it's like, I mean, there are people out there who don't struggle with that, and they are more productive. And it's like frustrating. And then it's like, I'm shameful that I can't be at their level of productivity, but it's like not really my fault, but also like, why haven't I at the age of 28 in 2 weeks, not 28 yet, but like in 2 weeks, 28. Why haven't I figured out a way to like combat the ADHD and deal with it? Like in a more, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, am I really going to be 60 years old one day and still struggling with these same type of things because I haven't come up with the mechanisms to fight that? And that sucks. And I'm jealous of people that don't have to deal with that. But also it's like, oh, you're blessed, you have a creative mind. ADHD gives you so much, you know.
It's a superpower.
It's a superpower. It's like,
I did really used to struggle with jealousy and feeling competitive and whatnot. And something that I did to try and mediate that is I would identify what is different about me and that other person. And even in our goals, like if we're doing like the same thing kind of, and I feel insecure about, like I'm comparing how far I am or how skilled I am compared to what they're doing and what they have. Identifying like, well, no, our goals are different in this way. That really alleviates that for me. And I feel like, okay, well, I'm on my own path. I shouldn't compare myself to this person because I'm doing something different.
And working on, oh, you're inspired by this person, you're not jealous of them.
Yeah.
And you can use the thing about them that inspires you, use it for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let it tear you down.
Yeah.
Oh, this person made
Go
a
with
really
them.
cool,
join them.
Kind of like like I don't get it. Like, how is this person doing this and I'm not? And it's like,
that's like a false sense of elevation, because when you're standing here and you're like, I want to feel better about myself, so let me push you down. You've enabled yourself to not have to do a damn thing, and not have to grow and challenge yourself in any way while still being superior by pushing this person down.
And that doesn't do anything, and it
No,
doesn't get you anywhere.
No, you're still in the same spot.
And
now you're just an asshole.
You're I'm Leah.
Okay, I'm ready. You're just like mouth agape, staring at my boobs, staring at me, staring at my boobs.
Okay.
That was hilarious. Threw you off guard there.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Sophie. And
And
this has been Overthinking Underachieving. Oh, okay. Coming in hot. And this has been Underachieving.